In this video, we're going to take a look at some Karate Kid action figures. I'll be comparing the toys produced by NECA and Icon Heroes. Let's go! What's going on, everyone? This is Dwayne Shoots Toys, and today I'm going to be doing a general overview of the Karate Kid action figures made by two different companies, NECA Toys and Icon Heroes. I'm actually in the middle of planning a toy photography project with some of these figures, and I thought, you know what, I may as well do a video review of them since so many people are interested in this franchise. Back in 2019, I did a shot with the Daniel and Mr. Miyagi figures. This was a wax on, wax off vinyl DJ shot. You can check it out in more detail on my Instagram page. Now, just so you know, if you're planning to buy these figures, you might have a tough time finding them in stores right now, especially the NECA figures because they were released a couple years ago. So I'd say your best bet is to try to find them on websites like eBay. But keep in mind, you're probably gonna have to pay an inflated price for them since they've gone up in value. The Icon Heroes figures might be a little bit easier to find since they are quite a bit newer. Anyway, that's enough for the intro. Let's check out these figures. So we'll start off with the NECA line, first looking at the figures that are wearing their non-karate outfits. We've got Daniel LaRusso and Mr. Miyagi in plain clothes, and Johnny Lawrence in his Halloween costume. Daniel is somewhere in between 7.5 to 8 inches in height. Mr. Miyagi is quite a bit shorter at just under 6.5 inches. And Johnny is around the same height as Daniel, maybe just a tiny bit taller than him. Each of these figures comes with some accessories. Daniel has a bonsai tree, a set of chopsticks, and some sanding pads. Mr. Miyagi also has a bonsai tree and a set of chopsticks. And Johnny comes with a Walkman and headphones. The face sculpts on these figures are fairly decent. I'd say out of the three of these, Mr. Miyagi is probably the most accurate. As far as hands, Daniel has one hand that's meant for holding his chopsticks, and his other hand is slightly open. Mr. Miyagi has one chopstick holding hand and one gripping hand. And Johnny has two closed fists. For clothing, all of these NECA toys have cloth goods, and they hug the bodies quite well, which looks nice. However, one of the downsides of the clothing being so form-fitting is that it can hamper the articulation of the figure. You can pose these figures, but you're going to be limited in what you can do with them. Next up, we've got John Kreese, the Cobra Kai instructor. This was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive figure, so it's a bit more limited and harder to find than the other NECA figures. He stands in between 7.5 to 8 inches in height and does not come with any accessories. His face sculpt looks pretty good. It's not perfect, but it's not terrible either. He's wearing his karate outfit. It's all black and there aren't any logos on it. And he's got a tattoo on his right bicep. Both of his hands are closed fists, and he's not wearing any shoes. And the last figures in the NECA line are Daniel and Johnny in their karate uniforms from the All Valley Karate Tournament. These figures are just a tiny bit shorter than the other versions of Daniel and Johnny because they are barefoot. So they're just over 7.5 inches tall. This set comes with a few accessories, mainly this trophy from the All Valley Karate Tournament. There's also this poster, a floor mat, and a backdrop that you can use to create your own mini diorama. The head sculpt for this Daniel is a little bit different than the other Daniel sculpt. There's a different expression on his face, and there's a headband sculpted into the head. And this is Johnny's face, which is obviously different than the Halloween costume version. As far as clothing, Daniel has the white Miyagi-Do uniform on. He's got a belt, and there's a logo on the back. Johnny has the black Cobra Kai uniform with his name on the front. There are some images on the bottoms of the legs. And then there's the Cobra Kai logo on the back. Daniel has 2 open hands with bent knuckles. And Johnny has 2 closed fists. Alright, now let's take a look at the figures made by Icon Heroes. This line was released more recently. The figures are a bit smaller, and they have molded plastic clothing instead of cloth goods. They stand a little bit over 6 inches in height, so they're around 1/12 scale. Here's a closer look at their uniforms. They pretty much have the same design elements as the NECA figures, with the logos on the clothing. The cool thing about these figures is that you get multiple heads and hands, which will give you quite a few options when it comes to posing them and using them in toy photography. The articulation is better with this line because you've got double jointed knees and elbows. And they have bendable toes as well. Let's see how the figures look beside each other. The NECA ones are obviously a lot bigger. And here's how they look next to a few figures from some other toy lines. We've got a Marvel Legends Deadpool, a Mattel WWE Ric Flair, and a NECA Jason Voorhees figure. And finally, we've got to try posing these figures in the signature crane kick pose. Alright, so that's basically it. Stay tuned to my channel because sometime in the near future I'll be doing a toy photography video using these figures, and if you have any fun ideas for shots I could do with them, please let me know. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.